If you read between the lines, it means that you find an implied meaning that isn't expressly stated. For example, if your friend stops returning your texts and calls, you might conclude that she doesn't want to be friends any longer, even though she hasn't expressly told you that. In Spaulding v. Morse, we explore whether it's proper for courts to read between the lines of a written agreement to discern the parties' intent. Ruth and George Morse married and had 2 children, including a son named Richard. They later divorced. Ruth retained custody of Richard. A dispute later arose regarding George's support of Richard. The couple ultimately resolved that dispute and memorialized their agreement in a written document. That document created a trust and provided that George would pay the trustee a set amount per month for Richard's care. The trustee, in turn, would give the money to Ruth for Richard's maintenance and education. George was required to provide for Richard until he entered college. George was also required to pay an increased monthly sum while Richard was in college, not to exceed 4 years. Richard graduated high school in February of 1946 and was inducted into the Army the next day. George then stopped making payments to the trust. Wycliffe Spaulding, whom we'll refer to as the trustee, was the trustee of the trust. He filed suit against George and argued that, under the terms of the trust agreement, George was still required to pay for Richard's maintenance. The trial court agreed and entered judgment in favor of the trustee. George appealed to the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court.